Why do you keep waking up at 2 a.m., 3:17 a.m., 4:22 a.m.? It's not just a coincidence, and it's not just aging. It's your body trying to tell you something. Sleep isn't supposed to feel like a broken record where you fall asleep easily but then wake up feeling like someone rang an internal alarm. Sometimes once, sometimes twice, often right before the sun comes up. For many older adults, this pattern becomes so common they start calling it normal. But here's the truth. Frequent nighttime awakenings after the age of 60 are common, but they're not always harmless. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this happens, how to tell the difference between a harmless quirk and a health warning, and what you can do tonight to improve your rest and protect your well-being. Sleep isn't just about rest, it's about regeneration, memory retention, and even immune strength. And when that cycle is broken, the cost shows up in more ways than one. Let's start with something most people don't realize. Aging doesn't cause poor sleep. That's right. The myth that sleep must decline with age is a half-truth. What's more accurate is that the way we sleep changes, and those changes are influenced by a combination of biological, psychological, and environmental factors. As we age, we spend less time in deep sleep, the restorative, immune-boosting, memory-building stage, and more time in lighter stages of sleep, which are easier to wake from. This means noises, aches, anxiety, even just needing to use the bathroom, can interrupt sleep far more easily than before. But here's the twist. Those wake-ups aren't always caused by your bladder or creaky joints. Sometimes your body is flagging something more subtle, like blood sugar fluctuations, heart irregularities, or stress hormones rising at the wrong hour. Take this example. You fall asleep around 10:30 p.m., and then like clockwork, you jolt awake around 2 a.m. with no obvious reason. You don't need the bathroom. There's no loud noise, just a sudden wakefulness. That might be your liver working overtime to regulate glucose. It might be cortisol, your body's stress hormone spiking when it shouldn't. Or it could be a sign of fragmented sleep caused by something as simple as untreated sleep apnea, or as complex as anxiety wearing a health mask. And here's where things get tricky. Many older adults assume these awakenings are harmless, just a nuisance. So they ignore them, or worse, normalize them. But the longer they go unchecked, the more they impact memory, energy, mood, and heart health. And the more they become part of a frustrating cycle. Poor sleep leads to more daytime fatigue, more naps, less physical movement, and more fragmented sleep the next night. In upcoming segments, we'll dive into the top medical, hormonal, and psychological reasons for nighttime awakenings, so you can stop guessing and start understanding. We'll also look at what doctors recommend, what habits to change, and how a few small shifts, from the time you eat dinner to how you wind down at night, can transform your nights and protect your brain and body. For now, remember this. Waking up at night isn't something to just accept. It's something to listen to, because your body is trying to talk to you. And the better you listen, the better you'll sleep. Now that we know these nighttime wake-ups aren't just part of getting older, the next step is understanding what's causing them and what your body may be trying to signal. Let's break it down into three major categories: physical, hormonal, and psychological. 1. Physical triggers. The most obvious culprits often start in the body itself. And among the top reasons, pain and discomfort, arthritis, joint inflammation, restless leg syndrome, even mild neuropathy can all become more noticeable at night when distractions fade and the brain tunes into physical sensations. Then there's nocturia, a fancy word for nighttime urination. This affects nearly 70% of adults over 60. It's not just about the bladder shrinking. It's about kidney changes, hydration habits, and even medications like diuretics. You might be waking up not because you drank too much water, but because your heart medications shift fluid to the bladder while you sleep. And here's one most people miss: sleep apnea. It's wildly underdiagnosed in older adults, especially those who aren't overweight. If you snore, gasp, or wake up with a dry mouth or headache, this silent sleep stealer could be the reason you're popping awake without remembering why. Left untreated, it can lead to high blood pressure, memory problems, and even stroke risk. 2. Hormonal imbalances. Your body runs on internal clocks, and hormones are the timekeepers. One key hormone? Melatonin. As we age, melatonin production declines, meaning it's harder to fall into and stay in deep sleep. But that's not all. Cortisol, your stress hormone, is supposed to be lowest at night and highest in the morning. But in many older adults, especially those under stress, in chronic pain, or dealing with blood sugar issues, cortisol spikes during the night. This can cause sudden awakenings, often around 1 to 3 a.m., and make it harder to drift back to sleep. Blood sugar plays a sneaky role here too. If you eat dinner too early or don't balance your carbohydrates with protein and fat, your blood sugar may dip too low during the night. Your body responds with a cortisol jolt, waking you up wide-eyed and slightly anxious. The fix? A small balanced evening snack might be more helpful than you think. We'll explain how later in the video. 3. Psychological and emotional factors. Let's be honest. Retirement isn't always relaxing. It can come with worries about health, family, finances, or even identity. And unlike during the day when distractions are everywhere, nighttime is quiet. That's when the mind gets loud. Anxiety, depression, grief, loneliness, these aren't just daytime issues. They interrupt sleep in powerful ways, often surfacing as those unexplained 3 a.m. awakenings. And because older adults are less likely to talk about mental health concerns, the symptoms show up at night, in the dark, when everything feels heavier. In fact, studies show that older adults experiencing loneliness or recent bereavement are significantly more likely to suffer from fragmented sleep, waking up more frequently and staying awake longer each time. And here's the cruel twist. The less you sleep, the harder it becomes to manage emotions the next day. It's a vicious cycle, one we'll show you how to break. So if you've been brushing off these nighttime wake-ups, thinking they're harmless or unavoidable, think again. They may be telling you your medication needs adjusting. Your blood sugar isn't stable. Your stress is leaking into your sleep, or your body is simply asking for help, gently, through the language of interruption. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the specific signs to watch for. How to know when a wake-up is just a fluke and when it's a red flag. We'll also discuss the top questions to ask your doctor to get real answers and reclaim your rest. Let's get practical. You now know what might be waking you up in the middle of the night, be it pain, hormones, stress, or a mix of all three. But how do you figure out what's going on in your specific case? Here's where observation meets action. The first and most overlooked step is to track your patterns, not just when you go to bed and wake up, but when you wake up during the night and what you feel when you do. Is it always around the same time? Are you hot, anxious, thirsty, or achy? Do you have to urinate, or are you just wide awake? These details hold the clues to your body's internal dialogue. Here's what to track for 7 nights. Time of waking, physical sensations, e.g. needing to pee, pain, heart racing, sweating. Mood, calm, anxious, restless. Food and drink after 6 p.m. Any naps taken that day. Medications or supplements. You don't need a fancy sleep tracker, just a small notebook or even a voice note on your phone. The patterns often speak volumes. Next, bring that data to your doctor, but don't just say, "I'm not sleeping well." Instead, ask targeted questions that guide the conversation. Could my medications be interfering with sleep? Is it possible I have mild sleep apnea? Should we check my blood sugar or cortisol levels? Could a magnesium or melatonin supplement help? Remember, most doctors won't ask about your sleep unless you bring it up. And because poor sleep impacts memory, blood pressure, immune function, and even fall risk, it's worth pushing for answers. But while you wait for appointments or test results, there are real changes you can make tonight to start shifting the tide. Let's start with a golden rule for better sleep in older adults. Control the evening and you'll control the night. Here's how. Dim the lights 2 hours before bed. Bright lights block melatonin. Soft lighting tells your brain it's time to wind down. Avoid screens, TV, phones, tablets, at least an hour before bed. The blue light disrupts your natural sleep signals, especially in older adults who are more sensitive to it. Eat your last meal 3 to 4 hours before bed and make sure it includes some protein and healthy fat to stabilize blood sugar. Stay hydrated, but stop drinking large amounts after 7 p.m. This helps reduce nighttime urination. Create a sleep ritual, whether it's reading, stretching, journaling, or sipping herbal tea. Ritual tells the brain, this is familiar, this is safe. And this might sound small, but it matters. Cool down your bedroom. Our core body temperature needs to drop to fall asleep and stay asleep. Studies suggest a room temperature of 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, helps deepen sleep. If you wake up sweating, this tip alone might change your nights. Also, don't be afraid to stay up a little later if you're not sleepy. Forcing yourself into bed too early often backfires, leading to multiple wake-ups throughout the night. Instead, focus on sleep quality, not just sleep quantity. In the next section, we'll cover specific proven techniques to fall back asleep after a nighttime wake-up. Because once you're up, staying calm and returning to rest is half the battle. You'll learn what to do in the moment, from breathing techniques to brain hacks that short-circuit anxiety and restore rest. You've done everything right. You dimmed the lights, ate dinner early, skipped the TV, maybe even journaled before bed. And still, you wake up at 3:11 a.m., heart steady but eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. Now what? Here's where most people make a crucial mistake. They panic. They look at the clock, calculate how many hours of sleep they've lost, and start thinking, if I fall asleep right now, I can still get 4 hours. Okay, 3.5. Before you know it, your brain is wired, your heart's racing, and you've gone from a brief wake-up to full-blown insomnia. So let's talk about how to handle those middle-of-the-night wake-ups the right way, calmly, effectively, and without fear. Step 1. Don't check the clock. This one's hard, but it's powerful. Looking at the time activates the analytical part of your brain, pulling you out of rest mode and into math and worry mode. Instead, practice blind awareness. If you wake up, acknowledge it. Don't fight it. Don't time it. Just be. Step 2. Stay physically still, but mentally gentle. Avoid turning on lights, checking your phone, or changing positions drastically. Instead, try a simple breathing technique. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This 4-7-8 method calms the nervous system and slows the mind. If thoughts intrude, which they will, greet them, then guide them out. Imagine each thought as a train at a station. You see it, you nod, but you don't get on board. Step 3. Use your senses wisely. If lying still isn't helping, engage your mind with something neutral and sensory. Examples. Silently name 5 things you can hear. Imagine walking through your childhood home, room by room. Repeat a calming phrase like, I am safe. I am calm. Sleep will return. This quiet mental activity distracts your brain from racing thoughts without waking it up fully. Step 4. Get up. Only if 20 to 30 minutes pass. If you've been awake for a while and feel restless, get out of bed. But keep the lights low and avoid screens. Do something calming. Read a paper book, not a thriller. Do light stretching. Listen to soft instrumental music. And here's a surprising tip. Don't aim to fall asleep. Aim to feel relaxed. When the pressure to sleep disappears, sleep often returns naturally. Bonus, the brain rewind technique. This method has helped many older adults get back to sleep. Close your eyes and mentally replay your day in reverse, from dinner back to breakfast. This trick activates short-term memory without emotional engagement, helping the brain slow down and shift into a passive state. Now, if you're waking up every single night around the same time or always feeling wide awake and alert, don't ignore it. It may be worth revisiting what we discussed earlier, like blood sugar drops or cortisol spikes. And yes, even dream cycles could be at play. The brain often processes emotional material in the early morning hours. That random wake-up could be your mind nudging you toward something unresolved. But what matters most is this: don't fear the wake-up. Respond with tools, not panic, because with the right response, a few minutes of wakefulness doesn't have to ruin your night or your next day. In the next segment, we'll explore what long-term changes can fortify your sleep beyond nightly rituals. Think diet, supplements, light exposure, and gentle exercise that can reset your body clock and enhance your overall health. If you want long-term sleep improvement, you have to look beyond what happens just at bedtime. Deep, uninterrupted sleep is built over the course of an entire day. It starts the moment you wake up. Morning light equals nighttime sleep. One of the most powerful ways to improve sleep after 60 is to get morning sunlight. Just 15 to 30 minutes of natural light exposure within an hour of waking helps regulate your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock. When your brain senses bright light early in the day, it tells your body, this is day, melatonin off. Cortisol on that rhythm sets the stage for better melatonin production later, right when you need it. If you spend most of your day indoors, this one habit alone could shift your sleep quality dramatically. Movement matters. Next, consider your physical activity. Older adults often fall into a trap, slowing down during the day but expecting to be tired at night. But the body sleeps best when it's been gently challenged. That doesn't mean hours in the gym, just a brisk walk after breakfast, light yoga or Tai Chi in the afternoon, gardening or cleaning instead of long sedentary stretches. Regular daytime movement helps reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, and release tension, all key for better sleep. Food and sleep, the underrated link. What you eat, when you eat, and how your body processes food all affect your sleep. Let's break it down. Avoid caffeine after noon, even if you don't feel it. Caffeine can quietly interfere with deep sleep later. Limit alcohol, especially close to bedtime. It may help you fall asleep faster, but it disrupts sleep in the second half of the night, leading to early wake-ups. Balance blood sugar. Meals rich in refined carbs, like white bread, pastries, or sugary snacks, spike and crash your glucose, which can lead to midnight cortisol spikes. Instead, aim for protein plus healthy fat at each meal. A light, protein-based evening snack if needed, e.g., a boiled egg or a small piece of turkey. And yes, hydration timing matters. Drink plenty during the day, but taper off after 6 to 7 p.m. to minimize those 3 a.m. bathroom trips. Supplements, helpful or hype? Some older adults benefit from sleep-supporting supplements, but these are not one-size-fits-all. Here are a few with real evidence behind them. Magnesium glycinate supports relaxation and reduces nighttime awakenings. Melatonin, low dose, 0.3 to 1 milligram, best for shifting your sleep-wake cycle, especially if you're falling asleep too early or too late. L-theanine, found in green tea, helps promote calm without drowsiness. But always consult your doctor before starting anything new, especially if you take medications that may interact. Don't underestimate routine. Finally, build a daily rhythm that tells your body, this is life, this is predictable, this is safe. Because the older we get, the more our brains crave consistency. And consistency is the silent ally of deep sleep. Wake up and go to bed at the same times, even on weekends. Anchor your days with light, movement, meals, and relaxation cues. Reduce noise and chaos before bedtime. Even 10 minutes of calm reading or stretching can change your nervous system state. Think of sleep like a garden. You can't water it once and expect it to bloom forever, but tend to it, morning, noon, and night, and it will reward you with strength, clarity, and peace. In our final section, we'll tie it all together with a motivational message and a powerful reminder of what your sleep is truly protecting: your memory, your independence, your joy. Let's take a step back. You've now learned why your sleep may be broken and, more importantly, how to fix it. But this is about more than rest. Sleep is the foundation beneath everything you care about: your energy, your mood, your memory, your ability to laugh at your grandchild's joke or remember where you left your keys, your balance when you get out of bed, your focus when you're driving, your emotional strength when you're navigating change. So when your body wakes you up at 3 a.m., it's not betraying you. It's waving a flag, not saying you're broken, but whispering, pay attention. Let's be clear, you are not helpless. Yes, sleep changes with age, but that doesn't mean deep, peaceful, uninterrupted rest is a thing of the past. In fact, now more than ever, it's within reach, because you've gained something in these golden years that you didn't have before: wisdom, awareness, the willingness to listen to your body instead of fighting it. The small things make the big difference. The cup of tea instead of a glass of wine. The stretch before bed instead of another show. The morning walk that tells your brain, it's time to shine. These aren't just habits, they're signals. Signals that tell your nervous system, you are safe, you are calm, you are allowed to sleep. And if tonight you wake again at 2:47 a.m., don't dread it. Use it. Notice it. Respond with grace, not fear. Because the goal isn't just to sleep through the night. It's to live your days with clarity, strength, and calm, and let your nights support that life. So here's your invitation. Start tonight. Pick just one small change. Maybe it's dimming the lights after dinner. Maybe it's walking in the morning sun. Maybe it's talking to your doctor about your medications or stress levels. Whatever it is, do it with intention. Not because you're trying to fix something, but because you deserve to feel better, think clearer, and sleep deeper. Because sleep isn't just for rest, it's for resilience. And your life, at this stage, is worth protecting with everything you've got. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, share it with someone you care about. And remember, you're not alone in this. You're aging, but you're also awakening. And every good day starts with a good night.